So I've got a confession to make. I've never actually owned a proper Seiko besides the Seiko mods I've made in my life. And I've been collecting watches for around 5 years now. It started with my father's hand-me-down Casios as well as gifted Casios as well. But what they didn't know about in that moment was that was exactly what led me to this rabbit hole of watch worlds. And naturally, as time progresses, your income increases and you acquire a taste into the more medium tier price range watches. And I believe I'm finally at that point in my watch collecting journey where I can level up and take that next step into buying real brands. Because I'm finally happy to say, I got my first ever Seiko. Let's talk about this beautiful piece of time making. What's up everybody, this is Coda. If this is your first time watching God Tier Watches, hey, here we do top 10s, reviews, topics, and discussions and everything watches. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to hit the subscribe button and join the journey. Now today I'm talking about a watch that I had recently purchased over the Boxing Day sale, in which this is the Seiko SRPL03K. Now keep in mind this is a limited edition watch, but they still have pieces from the website I've been looking at and also other retailers within Australia. I'm sure there's a lot of other retailers that have stock around the world. Now I picked up the silver dial version here, but there is a black colorway available for you to pick up. I just thought I'd preface this because it is limited to 9,999 pieces. And this watch is a reissue of the original 1968 watch. This is the original Seiko I, as they call it, the Kamen Rider, where it was released and worn by the original actor of the Kamen Rider show, which is a popularized show back in Japan. It's like a kid's hero show and it's quite old, like to the point where my mum watched it when she was a kid. So yeah, time flies, right? But let's really dig into this watch and really find out why I bought this piece in the first place out of all the Seikos I could have purchased. As part of the design language, I love this Seiko I. I love the vintage retro design with its nice vintage bracelet as well. It being a Seiko I, it follows the 5 criteria of what it means to be a Seiko I watch. And that is to have an automatic movement, a day date at the 3 o'clock position, water resistance, a recessed crown at 4 o'clock position, and a durable case and bracelet. Now if you look at this watch on the spec sheet compared to any AliExpress watch, you will quickly notice that Seiko spec sheets does not compare anything to what AliExpress can offer. And the most obvious reason for this is because you need a design team to reissue this, the marketing that's required, and just the fact that it is technically an original piece. AliExpress copies, just copy and paste. They have a copy printer. You just Control C, Control V, job's done, make it look good, put some quality into it, bang, that's your job done. Whereas Seiko have to reissue this and pretty much revamp it, market it up again. So there is some hidden costs that you don't see behind the scenes, and personally, as I kind of delve deeper into the watch world, I do honestly prefer paying that extra just to have something that is an original piece instead of just a lame old copy. Now I think there are certain cases where AliExpress watches are beneficial when, for one, you cannot obtain the original piece or it is very, very expensive. But even if you do follow these criteria, it does leave a slightly bitter taste to me. At least for me as a collector, it is a personal problem. I'm not telling you to just buy Seikos or just buy all original brands, but I think there is some nice feeling to it when you buy your first ever Seiko in my case. As you may know from my State of the Watch collection, I did mention about wanting to buy more established brands, and here we are within literally a month of 2026 and I have myself a Seiko. This is not any common watch by any means, but I looked around Watch Depot, which is like an Australian online retailer for watches and jewelry, and I just scrolled through their website during the Boxing Day sale and I stumbled across this watch for 395 Australian dollars, which is a steal considering the fact that this is normally 725 Australian dollars. Got it on a massive sale, but I was pondering whether I actually wanted this piece in the first place, but seeing that it had a grey dial, like a silvery sunburst dial, it was a point of difference compared to all the other watches in my collection. And so it felt like there was a void that I could fill into that collection, and honestly, I have worn this watch almost every day for the past week. There is so much just to love about this design. I think for one, just the retro vintage design and this sporty casual wear. with this watch. Some people have issues with arm hairs getting caught. I don't really have much arm hair. I'm like a baby, so I don't have any experience in this personally. I'll explain right now everything that I do love about this watch and things that not so much. First, the case size is perfect. I cannot say this enough, but this case just looks stunning and superb on my wrist. I think I've got a 6¼ inch wrist and this watch wears so perfectly. Coming in at 39mm case diameter, which is like the perfect case diameter for me. It just looks fantastic. It being also a Seiko I, it also has the kanji date wheel on the day, which I really love. It is something that is new to my collection. So this is a point of difference again. Another reason why I like this watch so much is just the color. It has a red seconds hand to kind of create this point of difference and makes it stand out. It has a grey sunburst dial, very nice silvery bright dial there. And I love the indices, it's nicely polished and you also get some decent lume as well, enough to view the time when it's dark at night. Now, although this watch may look like a diver upon first glance, it actually is a interesting bezel. So it's a two-way rotating bezel. It's a friction-based bezel where it requires just the right amount of pressure to actually turn and rotate the dial. And I really like the feeling to it. It's really nice and smooth. I also like how grippy it is with its coin-edged bezel, makes it really easy to grasp. And I love, again, the retro design also on the bezel. And with the bezel also being stainless steel combined with the sunburst grey dial, I think it works really nicely. It looks very chic and elegant. Not to mention that this watch, again, follows the Seiko I, meaning that it is a automatic movement, which encased in this watch is the 4R36 automatic movement with 41-hour power reserve. It also supplies 100 meters of water resistance there, and it also comes with a hardlex crystal. Not as sapphire by any means, but it should suffice for everyday use. And another benefit is if you don't like this stainless steel strap, you want to get a leather strap, it comes with a leather strap with this box. So yeah, I like the packaging overall as well. The wearing experience and how it makes you feel, I just keep looking at the watch every single day. Well, whether I'm walking outside, whether I'm working, I take a couple seconds out of my day just to look at this and just go, wow, I own this watch. But it is very refreshing as someone who's purchased a Seiko for the first time to actually own a Seiko. And yeah, it's really nice. I think knowing that this is an original timepiece and it's not a copy, a direct copy, is a nice refreshing feeling, especially because I talk about pretty much all AliExpress watches. But what are some things that I don't like about this watch? Now I know I sound like I'm getting sponsored by Seiko to say all this, which I am not. I am glazing it so much, but what is actually bad about this watch? Well, there's a couple of things. Now the most obvious reason why this watch isn't perfect is because of its hardlex crystal. Now to be fair, it does use a curved hardlex crystal, which essentially gives this distortion and warp effect when viewed from an angle. However, it is inferior to the sapphire crystal, it being more scratch resistant. And yeah, would have loved to see sapphire crystal, especially at the original retail price of $700. Come on Seiko, you can do better. Knowing how AliExpress watches are able to just slap on a sapphire crystal on like 50 Australian dollar watches is unreal to even think about. But second thing is, although the bracelet is very comfortable, the clasp has always been a weak point within Seiko for a lot of them. It does provide 2 micro adjusts, which is not much to begin with. But it also doesn't come with a milled clasp. It actually has a stamped stainless steel clasp instead. So for one, it is not as high quality and not as durable. But that being said, that is pretty much all the cons I can say. I love this watch, the wearing experience and how it looks, it is perfect. I think it really does take you back with this retro design, and I showed it to my mum as well and she loves it. And also, I kind of find it funny how this has been named and nicknamed as the Kamen Rider as by the fans, and I think that name in itself makes it worth it. So yeah, I really do love this piece. My first ever Seiko, first of many because I am hooked onto Seikos now. But obviously there are a lot of other brands that you can get into if you want to look at established brands. That being like Timex, Citizen is a big one, Casio's, G-Shocks within Casio, Tissot's, Hamilton, and you got also other micro brands you can get into as well with likes of Laurier, Brew, Wise, Zelos, Christopher Ward. There's plenty of brands to look out for, so keep your eyes on those brands if you do want an original piece. I think it's one of those things that you don't realize how great it is to own an original piece, I guess, in comparison to just a copy paste. I think there's a level of entitlement, I guess, or just like ownership, I guess, that you own a Seiko watch now. And yeah, it's one of those pieces that you would want to hand it down to your kids. Although this watch does look like it is from the 70s, it is rebrought back into 2025 last year, but I decided to purchase it. It was on a sale, so I had to hop on it. But that is my first ever Seiko, everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching God Tier Watches. This is a very different video. I'm doing like a more topic-based style video where I just talk about one specific watch and not really go down to the actual nitty-gritty review and unboxing experience per se. But what do you guys think? Do you guys prefer this style video, or would you prefer a more specific in-depth review for this watch? Let me know in the comment section down below. But without further ado, have a good rest of your day wherever you guys are from. My name is Koda. Thank you for watching God Tier Watches, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.